Hi there, this is Srikanth Sare. So in this lesson, we are going to learn how to grab the input from the keyboard. Okay, so in the last 10 lessons, if you go to my series in Java, core Java programming, so if you scroll down a bit in my channel, okay, so this is my channel, the Sari Tuts here. If you scroll down a bit, you have a link for this core Java programming playlist here, okay. So if you go into that, you have observed we have done already 10 lessons on various basic topics in Java programming language. So in all these lessons we haven't used this functionality to take input from the user here. Okay. So in this lesson we are going to do that using a scanner object, which is an object created from the scanner class. Okay, and that scanner class is defined in the util package. Okay, so first we need to import that util package, and then we have to create an object for the scanner class, and we have to proceed with our programming. Okay, so first let me launch the IDE. So we know that we are using NetBeans 8.02, which is the latest version at the time of this recording. So if you want, you can go to help and about, you get all the information about the version number and details and so on and so forth. So by the time you're watching this video, or you start doing your programming, you might have a different version of NetBeans out there in the market. You can feel free to download that and install, which is very awesome idea to do Java programming here. Okay, so first I'm going to create a new project here, file new project, Java application as usual. So I'm just naming the project as integer input. Okay, so since we are primarily focused on taking how to take the integer input from the user, and in the subsequent lessons we will learn how to take a character input, floating point values, and string input from the keyboard. Okay, so first we are taking integer input, so for that reason I have named the project as integer input. So what NetBeans does for us is it creates an empty project with a .java file. So at the very beginning I'm just getting rid of everything. So first I want to write the code from the very beginning. So for that purpose I'm writing the first I'm going to write this statement, integer input. Okay, so integer input is the name of the package. Okay, so next we need, as we have said that at the beginning, we need to import a package known as Java util package. Okay, so which is defined in the Java main Java JDK. So java dot util dot, you can say, since we are going to using the scanner object, scanner class, you can say directly scanner class, or you can keep the star operator here, okay, asterisk operator, such that you can import the whole number of classes which were defined in this util package here. Okay, and next followed by we have this. So we need to define a class. So for that purpose, I'm writing a class definition, public class integer input. Okay, so public class integer input. So in that we have our contemporary main function. So public static. So public static void main and all the basic stuff like string args to handle the command line arguments. String args. Okay. So followed by the parenthesis here. Okay. And now what we are going to do is to demonstrate so how to grab the input from the user, sorry, integer input from the user. So let me take so all different kinds of integer data types, whichever the basic fundamental data types in Java. So there are four basic fundamental integer data types in Java, so which are going to be like this. The first one is byte. So as you know that byte is also a type of integer. So I'm just creating a variable for that. And next we are having the short. I'm taking another variable for that. Next we have int, so I'm taking another variable for that, and we have the last but not the least long here. Okay, so I have taken all the four basic fundamental integer types in Java. Okay, so let me put a comment here. So fundamental integer types in Java. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is so I'm just having a message here such that it shows up in the output screen. Excuse me. So system.out.println. So let's say enter a value for byte p. Okay, So it's always a good practice to use. So when you are designing, when you are typing a message to take the input from the user, it's always better to have system.out.print itself. Okay. So if you take print ln, it's annoyingly gives the cursor to the next line, and it is not a good. It's not a good way to do take the input from the user. Okay. So now the real thing comes here. Okay. So here we need to create an object for the scanner class. So I'm saying that scanner in is equal to a new scanner. So this is the syntax you need to follow. System.in. Okay, and within the parentheses we need to pass a value known as system.in. Okay, so this, oh my goodness, the it's automatically completing the thing here. Okay, so this is the syntax you need to follow in order to grab the input from the user using a scanner class. So first we need to create an object for the scanner class. So this is the normal. So in the subsequent lessons, when you learn about the object-oriented nature of the Java, so you will understand clearly. So what is the way or the syntax to create an object in Java for a particular class. So for the time being, you can understand something like this. Okay, so we have a scanner class here. So this is the in is the object which you have created for that scanner class, and you need to pass this argument system.in. Okay, which is very essential according to the syntax of the scanner class here. Okay, so now what you're going to do is so you have take the variable on the left hand side for the byte. Okay, so here you need to grab some input for all the four variables here. Okay, so first we are going to do it with byte here. So byte p is equal to in dot, using that scanner object you have a method known as next byte here. Okay, so this gives you the grabs the input and converts it into the byte automatically and stores it in the variable b here. Okay, so in the same way you can have the message once again, or let's write it system dot out dot print ln. Okay, so again, sorry, let's give it print only. So enter a value for short. Yes. Okay, so what I've done is I'm just taking a value for a short variable, and again I'm using the scanner object in dot. So if you go to the method, there is a method for known as next short here. Okay, so there are many ways to get the input from the user, like data input stream and buffer reader, read line method using a buffer reader, and so on and so forth. So out of all those, using a scanner class is the easiest and most cleanest way to grab the input from the user here. Okay, so next let's type another message here, system dot so out dot so println. Okay, so again I'm putting a message here. So enter the value. So enter the value for integer. Okay, so real integer. So integer I is equal to, so again you can have I is equal to, so in dot next int. Okay, that's the method which we have to grab the input from the user in the form of a integer here. Okay, so last but not the least, I am having the one last output statement, system.out.print system.out.print. Okay, let's put it here also, print only. So let's have a message once again. So enter the value. So for long, enter the value for long L is equal to so let's say, so I is equal to so no, sorry, L, we have taken the variable name as L here. So if you remember it, we have taken the variable as L. So L is equal to in dot next long. Okay, so we have a function specifically defined to take the long to grab the input in the form of a long and convert into a long integer type, and then store assign into the variable. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm putting a system.out.println statement once again to output, so whatever the values we have taken here. Okay, so output.println. Okay, so the integer or the byte, so the byte entered is equal to, so you know that we have to use this concatenation operator plus in order to have to print the input, print the output, whatever that is stored in the variable. be here. Okay, so now if you run the program until now by using this F6 button, so if you observe what happens here is it compiles and asks for the very first time, it asks us for the byte variable. That's what we have taken the very first time. I'm just entering some sample dummy value, and then it asks for input from the user for the short variable s, and then it asks for integer. I'm just giving 3, and it asks for long. Let's give a long value. Okay, okay. So here one last time, so after entering all the variables, what we have done is we have just outputted the value. Okay, so again, if you run the program once again, so you can enter some values. Okay, so not more than 129. If you enter something like this, then you might run into trouble here. Okay, so exception here because it's not taking the value more than the range of what the byte is supposed to be here. Okay, so that's the reason input mismatch value out of range is automatically coming here. Okay, so you need to tackle these kind of problems when with the try catch exception handling methodology, so which we are going to learn in the subsequent lessons here. Okay, so as you know that in the previous knowledge of data types, the range of byte goes something like this: 128 minus 128 to 127. Okay, so if you give any value beyond that, automatically it runs out of the range. Okay, so while giving the input, you need to keep it in mind. Okay, so let us finish all the things. So whatever we have taken the values here. Okay, so I'm just printing all the values whatever we have grabbed the input, system.out.println again for all the time. So again, let's say the byte, or again the short value, the short value entered is equal to, okay, so plus s, that's what we have taken for the short variable. Again, we have a system.out.println. So again, let's say the integer value, entered is equal to plus I. Okay, the system.out.println, the long value, so entered, so is equal to plus L here. Okay, so I have just completed all the 4 things here. So just to print whatever the values. Okay, so to distinguish ourselves from this, let's have a message here once again. So let's say that system.out.println, so let's say something like this: the value stored, or whatever, some silly stupid message, just for understanding purpose here. Okay, so I'm just running the program. So for the one last time here, so it asks for a byte. Let's give some value within the range 13. It asks for an integer. Let's give some 2300 or 1000. And asks for integer, you can give a huge value since it's roughly 4 billion for integer here. Okay, accepts. And long, it's less than more than 4 billion, so you can give whatever the value. You can give the entire population of India and China, it takes happily. Okay, so whatever you have given the value stored, we have just put a message here, and that's what we have entered. So if you observe, we have entered the value of byte for 13 and short for 2300, 23,000. Here roughly it's like 1 million. Here it's roughly like 30 million, or 3 million, 30 million, so on and so forth here. Okay, so in this way you can grab the input from the user, grab the integer input from the user using your scanner class, and following methods like next byte, next int, next short, and next long here. Okay, so this is the basic stuff. So how to grab the input from the how to grab integer input from the user in Java. So see you in the next lesson. Goodbye.